is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. We begin today with a developing story out of Bagley, Minnesota. 2 students were arrested at Bagley High School today. The Clearwater County Sheriff's Office tells us one student threatened to take the school resource officer's gun. He says at that point, another student then got involved, and the 2 students were refusing to go to the office. Both students were arrested. We're working to learn more, and we'll continue to update you on this developing story. This all comes as parents and students in area school districts continue to be on edge after a week full of threats against local schools. A juvenile in Pembina County is charged with terrorizing in connection to a potential threat at the North Border School. Sheriff Terry Meidinger says the sheriff's office was called to the school on Tuesday to investigate. Deputies have not released information on the manner of the threat, but they thank the public for bringing it to their attention. And in West Fargo, police and school officials say all 3 shooting threats made this week are not credible, including the detailed and specific threat toward Cheney Middle School. That threat led to students learning from home on Tuesday. 2 juveniles have been taken into custody. Police say they are certain that no one else was involved. 2 additional threats were made toward West Fargo middle schools last night. We were first alerted to a potential threat made to Liberty Middle School through our whistleblower hotline. The police said a screenshot of the threat circulating on Facebook saying a student threatened to shoot up the school on Friday is not credible. Then we learned of another post targeting Heritage Middle School. The school's principal sent out an email to parents saying they are aware of a threat of school violence made toward HMS, but they have investigated, and that threat is not directed at Heritage Middle School. Hutch joins us now with a first look at the forecast. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Stacy, and good afternoon, everyone. As we head into our Thursday, we have a little bit of wind starting to return to the valley. Again, we have a northwesterly float today, but it's not cold. It's really added to warm temperatures up a little bit. A few gusts in Oaks and here in the valley and Lakes Country over 20 miles per hour at times. The white line, that there is the freezing line. It's freezing in Fargo, 32 degrees, 34 in Fergus Falls. Beautiful conditions up in Hallock. It's 30, Thief River Falls. Pleasant and 30 degrees. Heading into the evening, clouds are clearing, so we have clear skies out west. That's going to allow things to cool off very quickly as we head towards sunset and beyond tonight. Clouds holding on in central Minnesota, but exiting. Your planner for Fargo shows temperatures will stay in the 20s for the next couple of hours and then pretty quickly start falling through the teens. We will have a chance for some clouds building in here in the Southern Valley, but it does look colder. Some wintry conditions are expected as we head into our weekend. We could see some for our region, but here in the Red River Valley, Wednesday and Thursday of next week, a potential winter storm that could bring wind, rain, freezing rain, and snow. Sounds like a wintry combination to me. We'll spell it out in a few minutes.
It sure does. Thanks, Hutch.
Yeah.
A Canadian man is sentenced to 6.5 years in federal prison after he was pulled over in northern Minnesota with dozens of guns in his vehicle. The criminal complaint says a Minnesota state trooper pulled over Muzamil Ado and Dane Sitladine near Fergus Falls for going nearly 100 miles per hour. The trooper smelled marijuana and asked to search the vehicle. Ado consented but asked that none of their bags be searched. Troopers ended up confiscating 67 firearms and several ammo clips. They also found out Sitladine had an arrest warrant out for crimes including homicide and fentanyl distribution. Ado also had outstanding warrants for weapons and kidnapping. 2 lawsuits seeking $100 million each have been filed against a Michigan school district after 4 students were fatally shot at Oxford High School. The lawsuits were filed in federal court by Jeffrey and Brandy Franz on behalf of their daughters, one who was shot in the neck and the other who was next to her at the time. Named in the suits are the Oxford Community School District, the superintendent, high school principal, the dean of students, 2 counselors, 2 teachers, and a staff member. The district has not yet commented on the lawsuit. The girlfriend of Dante Wright was the first witness called today on day 2 of the trial of the former police officer Kim Potter, who shot and killed Wright, claiming she accidentally mistook her gun for a taser. Wright's girlfriend was in the car with him when he was shot by Potter. She became very emotional, recalling what happened that afternoon in April when the vehicle they were in was pulled over.
I was the only one who had everybody there. I was trying to help him. And I was trying to push on his chest and call his name. And he wasn't answering me.
The defense argues that Potter shot Wright by accident. Wright's family and civil rights lawyers say they don't believe it was an accident, pointing out that Potter worked for the Brooklyn Center Police Department for 26 years and mistaking a weapon wouldn't have happened. With the Delta variant pushing up COVID hospitalizations and the Omicron variant threatening more problems, the Biden administration says they're taking new steps to protect Americans. Bradley Blackburn has the latest from New York.
In the fight against COVID-19, the FDA has authorized booster shots for almost 4 million 16 and 17-year-olds.
If you get the booster, you're really in good shape.
Adding teens could help lagging booster shot rates. Only 26% of eligible Americans have gotten the booster so far. Just over 24% of those who can get the vaccine haven't gotten a single dose. With the new Omicron variant threatening, health experts say there's even greater urgency to take whatever steps possible to protect yourself.
Unless we really double down on what we're doing, we could see an increased spike that goes even higher than that as we get deeper into December and January.
Pfizer says its additional booster shot increases protection 25-fold against the new variant.
At first we were skeptical about do we need it or not, but once there's another variant out there, there's no taking chances.
For now, it is the Delta variant causing the most U.S. infections. 4 states are currently seeing record hospitalizations compared to any point during the pandemic. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Meanwhile, the FDA granted emergency use to AstraZeneca's antibody cocktail. People ages 12 and older may take it if they're moderately to severely immunocompromised. The AstraZeneca therapy involves getting preventative injections as often as every 6 months, while other antibody drugs are used to treat COVID-19 after possible exposure to the virus. AstraZeneca's drug is intended for long-term prevention, not treatment. Experts say it could benefit cancer patients, organ transplant recipients, and people with severe allergies to vaccinations. Longtime Senate Majority Leader and former presidential nominee Bob Dole is lying in state at the U.S. Capitol today. Pallbearers brought Dole's casket to the rotunda in front of a crowd that included the president, vice president, congressional leaders, and Dole's wife and daughter. Dole, who died Sunday at the age of 98, was praised for his service as a soldier, senator, and statesman. In South Dakota, there are more cattle than people, 4 times as many, in fact. So it makes sense that in the heart of cattle country, students get local beef in their school lunches. At McIntosh School, that's happening thanks to a generous donation from a local couple. They donated 500 pounds of hamburger to the school. Students say that burger makes school lunch taste a little better. McIntosh FFA advisor Tia Neal says this donation is about more than just improving lunches.
We need this local beef here for many reasons. It supports our agricultural community, supports our students, and our health needs as well.
The couple donated the beef and Wall Meats processed it for free. They hope the word of their donation will spread to other schools and other states. The Minnesota Department of Transportation is reminding people that it's illegal to push snow on or next to a public highway or street. Minnesota law, as well as many local ordinances, prohibit the plowing, blowing, or shoveling of snow onto public roads or sidewalks. That includes ditches and right-of-way areas. You could actually be charged with a misdemeanor if you create a snow hazard. And you have less than a week left to submit your snowplow name ideas to the Minnesota Department of Transportation. They say, don't let this plow right past ya. Submissions close December 15th, which is next Wednesday. There's a submission form on MnDOT's website and other social media platforms. Each person can submit up to 3 names. They say the contest is intended to be fun, family-friendly, and non-political. Last year's winner was Plowy McPlowface, and not to brag, the name was submitted by a Valley News Live employee. It wasn't me. It wasn't Hutch either. We're not that creative. Still ahead here at 4, advice to keep you and yours safe if you still have some decorating to do.
Not creative. All right, well, as creative as we can get. Look at the pretty red colors here showing where things really warmed up from yesterday. 10 to 20 degrees across most of Minnesota, but we do have some changes to talk about. In fact, first alert weather days for next Wednesday and Thursday. A creative and colorful forecast. Join me. Weather's next.